I was 72 when the phone rang. My doctor, he had my test results. I remember the exact moment, standing in the kitchen, late afternoon light coming through the window, the phone pressed against my ear. He said the words slowly, carefully, like he was handing me something fragile. Cancer. The world didn't stop. The clock kept ticking. The refrigerator hummed. But something inside me went completely silent. I thought I'd feel fear, maybe panic. Instead, I felt this strange, hollow curiosity, like I was watching someone else's life unfold. I kept thinking, is this real? Is this actually happening to me? And beneath that, quieter, almost a whisper, what have I been doing all this time? I spent 43 years teaching high school English, married for nearly 50 years, raised 2 kids who turned out just fine. I was the guy who mowed his lawn every Saturday, who waved to neighbors, who paid his taxes on time. A good life, people would say. Respectable. The kind of life you're supposed to want. And I did want it, at least I think I did. But standing there in that kitchen, phone still in my hand, I realized I was describing my life the way you'd describe a photograph. Something that happened, something I could see, but not something I could still feel. Like I'd been playing a role for so long, I'd forgotten there was someone underneath it. The husband, the father, the teacher, all true, all real. But somewhere along the way, I'd become the resume and lost the person. The first hospital visit came 3 days later. I remember the hallways, too bright, too clean, smelling like disinfectant and fear. My wife held my hand. We didn't talk much. The doctor was kind, professional. He explained things I didn't want to understand, treatment options, timelines, percentages. I nodded. I asked questions. I acted like someone in control. But inside, I kept thinking about how this was supposed to happen to someone else. This story belonged in a movie, in a book, in someone else's tragedy. Not mine, not yet. I wasn't ready. And that's when it hit me. You're never ready. You just ran out of time to prepare. That night, back home, I sat alone in the living room after everyone went to bed. The house was quiet. For the first time in years, I had nothing to distract myself with. No papers to grade, no errands to run, just me in the silence. And in that silence, I heard something. Something I'd been avoiding for decades. The truth. And I didn't like what I heard. The first week after the diagnosis, I floated, numb, going through motions. People asked how I was doing, and I'd say, fine, managing one day at a time. All the right words. But the second week, that's when it landed. I'd wake up at 5 in the morning and just stare at the ceiling, not thinking exactly, just feeling the weight of it. I was alive, but I felt like I was already halfway gone, like I was standing at the edge of my own life, looking back at it from a distance. I tried to keep busy, fold the laundry, feed the dog, water the plants, small tasks that made me feel useful and control. But one morning I was standing at the sink washing a coffee cup and I just broke, not loudly. I didn't scream or throw anything. I just stopped, hands in the soapy water, and started crying. My wife came in, put her hand on my shoulder, and asked what was wrong. And I couldn't explain it, because it wasn't about dying. It was about realizing how long I'd been alive without actually living, how many years I'd spent going through the motions, waiting for something, without ever knowing what I was waiting for. There's a lie I lived by, not a big, obvious lie, a quiet one. I thought I had time. That's it. That's the whole thing. I thought someday would always be there, waiting for me, patient and forgiving. Someday I'd travel. Someday I'd build that boat I always talked about. Someday I'd sit down with my father before he passed and tell him I understood him better now. Someday I'd apologize to the friend I let drift away. Someday I'd learn the guitar, collecting dust in the attic. Samita, and I'd say the things I kept inside because it never felt like the right moment. Cancer didn't steal my time. It just held up a mirror and showed me how little of it I'd ever actually used. All those years I was saving my life for later. Like it was something you could store in a drawer and pull out when you were finally ready. But life doesn't work that way. It's happening now, whether why or paying attention or not. and I wasn't. I was so busy preparing for the future that I forgot to show up for the present. The memories that hurt the most aren't the big ones. They're small, ordinary. My son, maybe 10 years old, asking if I wanted to play catch in the backyard. I said maybe later, I've got papers to grade. Later never came. My wife, excited about a community theater show she was in. I said I'd try to make it, but I had a faculty meeting. I didn't make it. The guitar my brother gave me for my 40th birthday. I said I'd learn to play it, finally have a hobby that was just mine. It's still in the attic, strings probably rusted by now. These aren't dramatic regrets. They're quite betrayals. Little moments where I chose the safe, the easy, the later, and they add up. Each one is a letter I never sent. Each one was a door I walked past without opening. I can see them all so clearly now, lined up like ghosts. And what breaks me isn't that I can't go back. It's that I had the chance right there in the moment, and I let it slip away for no reason at all. One afternoon, maybe a month into all of this, I walked into the garage. I don't know why. I hadn't been in there, really been in there in years. It was full of boxes, old tools, things we meant to donate or fix or use someday, and in the back, covered in a tarp, was my old workbench. I used to love building things, bookshelves, birdhouses, and a small table for our first apartment. Working with my hands made me feel real grounded. But life got busy. Teaching took over, the family took over, and I stopped. Just put it all away and told myself I'd get back to it. That day, I cleared the space, moved the boxes, uncovered the bench, set up the old tools, and I just stood there, running my hand over the wood, breathing in the smell of sawdust and oil and time. It felt like coming home to a version of myself I'd left behind. I wasn't happy, not exactly, but I felt something close to peace, like I was remembering who I was before the world told me who I had to be. I picked up a piece of scrap wood, nothing special, and I started sanding it, slowly, rhythmically. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't thinking about dying. I was just there, in that moment, feeling the grain beneath my fingers. I want to ask you something. Not because I have the answer, just because I'm wondering. What are you waiting for? Not in a motivational way. I mean it, really. What are you putting off until someday? What's sitting in your attic, your drawer, your heart, waiting for the right time? I know how easy it is to think you'll get to it. I know how reasonable it sounds to say later, when things settle down, when you're ready. But what if you never feel ready? What if later keeps getting pushed back until it disappears entirely? I don't know you, but I see myself in people now. I see the same quiet delay, the same careful postponement, and I want to reach out and say, gently, without pressure, Abby, don't wait. Not because something terrible will happen, but because something beautiful might, and you could miss it. I'm not telling you to quit your job or chase some wild dream. I'm just asking if you've noticed your own life lately, if you've felt it, or if you've been moving through it like I did, present but not really there. Regret is a strange thing. It hurts. It sits heavy in your chest, but I've come to see it differently now. It's not an enemy. It's a teacher. It shows you where your heart still wants to go. If I didn't care about playing that guitar, I wouldn't regret leaving it untouched. If I didn't care about connection, I wouldn't feel the sting of those missed moments with my son. Regret is proof that something mattered, that it still matters. I wasted decades. I know that. I can't get them back. But here's the strange gift. I get to see it now. I get to name it. I get to make the time I have left mean something, even if it's less than I hoped for. Maybe the point was never how long we live. Maybe it's about how awake we become before we go. And I'm awake now. Late, but awake. Time is the only thing you spend without choosing to. Every second it's slipping away, whether you use it or not. I think about it like wood. Once you cut it, it's gone. You can't grow it back. Every decision you make, every moment you delay, you're shaving off something irretrievable. I'm not saying live recklessly. I'm not saying abandon responsibility. But I am saying stop pretending you're infinite. Stop acting like you'll always have more time to do the things that matter. You won't. None of us will. And the scariest part isn't death. It's getting to the end and realizing you were always planning to start living, but you never actually did. You don't need a countdown to start counting what matters. You just need to stop lying to yourself about how much time you think you have. I'm building a chess set for my son, one piece at a time. A pawn one week, a knight the next. It's slow work. My hands aren't as steady as they used to be, and I don't know if I'll finish it. The doctors don't give me guarantees, and I don't ask for them anymore, but that's not the point. The point is that I'm here in the garage carving wood, thinking about him. Each piece I finish feels like I'm defying time itself, telling it not yet, not before this. It's a small rebellion against everything that says it's too late. I'm not trying to leave behind something perfect. I'm trying to leave behind proof that I tried, that I cared, that in the end I stopped waiting and started doing. There's something beautiful in the effort itself, even if you never see the finish line, maybe especially if you don't. You don't need tragedy to permit yourself to live. That's what I keep thinking about. You don't need a diagnosis. You don't need a wake-up call. You just need to decide that today, right now, is worth showing up for. I'm not special. I'm not wise. I'm just a man who waited too long and got lucky enough to see it before it was over. If you're listening to this, you still have time. Not forever, but enough. Enough to call someone you've been meaning to call. Enough to start something you've been putting off. Enough to notice the light coming through the window, the way it falls across the table, the way it makes ordinary things look sacred. I hope you do that. I hope you go outside after this and feel the air differently. I hope you stop saving your life for later. Not because I told you to, but because you finally heard the quiet voice inside you that's been asking the same question I ignored for 72 years. What are you waiting for? Thank you for listening. I mean that. Go live while you still can.